Look at this. Better late than never. Trans-identified men don't win medals in women's sports. They steal them. Just because you believe something within yourself doesn't make it reality. They can't compete in a forum that they are not given to compete in. Thing that never happens, happened again.
And now a man who just might Wang Chung tonight, Ricky Cobb.
Oh yeah, and welcome, you sweet bastards. It's a Monday morning in Chicago. I'm Ricky Cobb, and this is the Ricky Cobb Show. We've got a win for women in women's sports. Let's not get too excited because we've got a couple more stories that I'm going to follow this with that are less optimistic for women, but boxing, world boxing, they govern amateur boxing. They have instituted what is going to be a PCR test. And look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm a doctor, but basically it determines if you have a Y chromosome or not, for those of us that didn't attend medical school. So they are going to test each boxer to determine if they are XY or XX chromosome individuals. And if you come back with evidence of a Y chromosome, you must compete in the men's division. How about that? Look at this. Better late than never. I'm applauding the most obvious thing in the entire world. Why we have had competition without this at the Olympics, at the international level, please explain to me. It might have saved us watching women getting beaten up by people who were not biological women. The big controversy was Imane Khelif a man or not? Look, I don't know if Imane Khelif technically is a male, but Imane Khelif, it would appear to me, there's every reason to believe, has sex characteristics at a minimum of both male and female. And either way, that gives you a genetic advantage that we saw it play out last year in Paris. So she won't be defending her gold medal or any other amateur competitions will she be entered in without undergoing this test. And guess what? You and I both know it. We all know it. Everybody knows it. She's not going to take the test. Now, is she? She's not going to take the test. Promise you. And if she takes the test and she passes the test and it comes back that she's an XX chromosome person, I will be the first to stand up and apologize because I have tried to be measured in this. A lot of people have called her a man. I don't know the technical difference because, again, I'm not a doctor between being male and being someone that is intersexed. I think there's a chance that she's intersexed rather than XY chromosomes such as myself or Ronnie T-shirts or producer Tim or P.A. Jarrett, quote unquote regular guys. But either way, should not have been competing and had an unfair innate advantage. The statement being issued by World Boxing says that they respect the dignity of all individuals and the overriding priority is to ensure safety and competitive fairness. To do this, they're going to make sure that competitions are operated for folks characterized as male or female. Well, this is the finest idea of, 100 years ago. I realize they didn't have the technology to test those things then, but from the time that we've had the ability to do it, if there's ever a question, seems like it's the most obvious thing in the world. And maybe we need to start doing it at the high school and collegiate level as well. Because the thing that never happens has happened again. In California, A.B. Hernandez, trans female, individual who recently set the national high school record for the triple jump for girls. Earlier this year, has taken first place in both the girls' high jump and triple jump at state championship in Clovis, California. This is the national record holder for girls in the triple jump, do you think that has anything to do with the fact that this individual is not a girl at all? And again, I don't know if A.B. Hernandez is 17, 18. I don't know if this person is legally a minor or not. I am loath to criticize the individuals as much as where the criticism should really be levied, and that is at the governing bodies who are allowing this to happen. And I know that there are people, I have heard the comments from those of you who watch the show who say, hey, the people who are participating, they bear blame as well. That A.B. Hernandez, people such as A.B. Hernandez, such as Marissa Rothenberger, the softball pitcher in Minnesota that we discussed on the show on Friday, that they bear responsibility for electing to compete because they should know better. Maybe that's true. But they can't compete in a forum that they are not given to compete in. And the forum should have never been extended to them to compete. And therefore, they're not really the problem, are they? The problem is the fact that they have been given a platform, literally a platform to stand on with medals around their necks, in some cases, and achieve things that they in no way actually earned, achieved. Again, let's put that in air quotes as well. Martina Navratilova, who is an unlikely ally for people who are on my side of this issue, some might say she's certainly not an OutKick fan, I can tell you that, reposting this tweet from Gender Receipts that said simply, trans-identified men don't win medals in women's sports, they steal them. And that is true. Regardless of what A.B. Hernandez's intentions are or any other athlete at the high school or college level, that is what is happening functionally. Producer Jared sent a photo of A.B. Hernandez and the other girls from the competition standing and receiving their medals afterwards and pointed out to me which one was Hernandez. And I don't know if he was doing it with a tongue in cheek or not, but I responded, you think? Because again, we're back to the eye test. Say it with all respect, but hey, guess what? You line up, 4 or 5 or 10 of these athletes, there's a pretty goddamn good chance that you're going to be able to just look at them and say, hey, I found which one is the transgender athlete. Am I wrong? See, the folks on the left would like to insult our intelligence and tell us that we couldn't possibly do that. There is no difference. You're a discriminator. You're a bigot of some kind. You're prejudiced if you think that this shouldn't be happening. That's what many of them would tell you. It's what they would tell me. And I resent that, and I'm going to fire back at that twice as hard, because do not come at me with something that is as stupid as that. If I can see it, if I can just look at somebody, look at Imane Khelif from the Olympics. You don't have to be a genius to look at that person and say, look, I don't know their medical records, but walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. In my experience, in my 53 years, most of the time I've found that it's a duck. In Oregon, same issue, transgender athletes competing, but we had 2 girls in Oregon who refused during the medal ceremony to stand on the platform, choosing to not go on the platform and face in the other direction in protest. Reese Eckerd of Sherwood High School and Alexa Anderson of, looks like Tigard High School, stepped down from their post rather than share the platform with a trans athlete who placed as well with them in the competition. So there are those among the girls and women who are being affected by this that are starting to get fed up. We are seeing, I think, more and more public, visible demonstration and objection to this. And I'm going to bring in now the international streaming star who joins me from Nashville, Tennessee, Ronnie T-Shirts. Ronnie, you've been very clear on many occasions on this show that you believe the only way that this really ends, or at least the most expedient way for this entire farce to come to a conclusion, is for girls and women to simply stop competing against transgender athletes.
Yeah, man. I mean, those two girls in Oregon, I mean, that's a start. I would have liked to see them not compete at all. But at least they didn't go up on the stand. So it's, baby steps, I guess. I hear a lot of arguments, and I think the main one I hear for why trans females should be allowed to compete is sports are awesome. And you learn so much from sports. And competing in sports is just this wonderful thing. Well, I want to know what my friend's son, who just tried out for the high school basketball team, and he didn't make it. Ricky, what's he supposed to do? He wasn't good enough to make it, and so now he's not going to get all the benefits of being on a team. So I want to know, what about him? See, as far as I know, Ricky, there are no rules barring a person that was born male but presents as female from participating in male sports. They're allowed to do that. What they're actually doing, Ricky, is they're just gaming the system. They're presenting as a female and they're competing against against actual females. They're just gaming the system. They weren't good enough to make the boys team, so they game the system and now they get to compete. And I just think it's unfair, and quite honestly, I think it's pathetic.
And look, I don't think that anybody is doing this just so that they can be successful as an athlete. I'm going to give everybody the benefit of the doubt here, that there's nobody who is just thinking, well, if I say that I identify as this, I can become a superstar. However, if you were an attention-seeking sort of person, who's to stop you, right? What is to stop? Let's say that there's somebody out there, right? They're a mediocre male high school athlete. They don't actually identify as a female, but they decide, you know what? It's a big world out there. Everybody wants to be noticed. I bet I could become a big deal if I did this. And I'm not saying that goes on. In fact, I think in the overwhelming majority, or perhaps even all of the cases, that's not the case.
I agree.
That these people are genuinely believe, whether they have gender dysphoria, whether it's part of what I believe is partially a social contagion, whatever the reason is that they're identifying, I believe that they're sincere, and I wish the people absolutely as well as I would wish anyone else in the world. It is a hard world that we live in, and we're all just trying to get through our lives and make it through as best as we can. Nobody gets out of this world alive, as they say. And it's hard while we're here. And it must be incredibly difficult to feel that you have been born in a body that doesn't correspond with who you innately feel that you are within yourself. But the problem is just because you believe something within yourself, it doesn't make it reality. And if you are born male with XY chromosomes, you simply have unfair advantages when you're competing against biological girls and women, and it simply should not occur, said with all respect and love and human decency for people who are struggling with this issue. Don't forget to sign up for Ricky Cobb's Rewind, for God's sake. It's our new newsletter, bi-weekly. That means that it's coming out once every 2 weeks. And it's got all kinds of good shit. We are chocking it full of, behind the scenes stuff, really. Messages from me to you. I'm going to be doing a write-up called The Rewind. In every edition of this, we're going to be covering stuff that's in the news. We're going to be doing a lot of retro Super 70s sports style content as well. Here you can see in the first issue, we're talking about top 5 classic arcade games. We've got the Margarita Mailbag, which I'm excited about, as well as this feature that you're looking at right now. There is a young Ricky Cobb outside Riverfront Stadium back in 1981 with my grandma and my dear mother right there together with me, wearing my Adidas and my Montreal Expos batting helmet. You can send in your own photos from your childhood. I'll caption the best ones for you. We'll put that in the newsletter as well, and I will be answering your questions in a longer form style. I know you guys like the Q&As that I do on X at Super 70s. We'll be able to do even more of that in the mailbag, and we'll take your ideas too. So get over to outkick.com/newsletter. That is outkick.com/newsletter. You will see Ricky Cobb's Rewind. When you get there, simply enter your preferred email address, click send, or whatever the button says, and you are going to be hooked up straight to your inbox every 2 weeks, absolutely free. There's no commitment. You can unsubscribe at any time, but only a goddamn fool would do that. Ricky Cobb's Rewind, coming to an inbox near you, perhaps even yours, I hope. Ronnie t-shirts. Let's talk about the kind of fun that we like to have at Super 70 Sports in the newsletter right here. I asked a simple question over the weekend, Ron, and got some interesting responses to it. And here it is. I don't know if you had time to see this one or weigh in on it, Ronnie, but I said, who's going to a hotter level of hell? People who put the toilet paper roll on upside down, or people who back into parking spaces? Do these people annoy you?
Well, I'm curious.
What's worse?
Why does backing into a parking space upset you? Like, how does that hurt you?
Well, it takes my valuable time. I have to stop and wait while some motherfucker lines up.
Oh, okay. You're just so you don't have a problem. You don't actually have a problem with a car that's backed in. You have a problem if it impedes your time.
No, I have a problem with cars that are backed in because they impeded somebody else's time.
But what if they didn't?
And I'm thinking about all of us.
What if they didn't, though? I mean, I get what you're saying.
Is this like telling me you're a backer inner without telling me you're a backer inner?
I'll tell you, man. I do. I understand where you're coming from about, because I try to be a good citizen of the world. But if it's easy enough and I'm at a sporting event or a concert,
I would love to see that. Should be on the screen underneath.
Back
you
in what?
Right now.
Try to be a good citizen of the world.
I try to be a good citizen of the world.
I do.
That would look so good underneath you on the screen right now.
Like when I'm driving, I let people in.
That's who you are.
I try to be a good citizen of the world.
Are.
But
it's
that being said,
DNA, Ron.
If there's an opportunity to do a quick back in, if you're at a concert or at a sporting event, man, you can get out so much faster when you're backed in than if you're the other way around. Because there are some people that aren't being good citizens of the world, and they won't let you out.
You can see the comments. If we can go back up, there was somebody's asking Grok something. Yeah, if we can scroll down here, you can see Go Bills asked me, why is it bad to back into parking spaces? If there's an emergency, it's the fastest and safest way to exit. To which I responded, who goes to Target with an emergency plan? How many contingencies does one need to be prepared for?
You never know.
Going out, well, if there's a situation at the Target and I have to scramble out.
What did Grok say? Here, can we stop it?
I don't want to have to back out.
There's Grok's answer.
Mm-hmm.
Backing into parking spaces.
I'm sorry for being successful enough that I have a car with rear assist, Ron. I can see where I'm going.
Grok says that there's a significant number of injuries and deaths from backing cars up. I've never heard that.
Well, I mean, I don't know significant number. I mean, somebody must be getting backed over here and there.
Well, yeah, and I'm going off the significant part of it.
Yeah, significant seems there doesn't seem to be a rash of this going on. I've never backed anybody over now. I got a 38-year Lou Gehrig streak of my own of not backing over any motherfuckers, and I've never seen anybody get backed over either. So how dangerous is it really?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The world's dangerous. Buy a helmet is what I would say to you. Ron, they're going crazy in the NFL right now. It's Pride Month. And people are going crazy on both sides. Some people are going crazy because NFL teams are celebrating Pride Month and they're, throwing rainbows all over everything. And then there's other people who are upset because not every team has celebrated Pride Month yet. So get ready for the greatest month of all, June, where everybody is going to be upset with one another because their preferred method of observing or not observing Pride hasn't occurred. The Bills are being called into question the most of any team because they put on their website basically resources that directed folks to learn more about the gender unicorn, gender pronouns, the coming out handbook, the National Survey of Mental Health of LGBTQ plus young people. They provided some resources, the Bills Mafia. Well, the Bills Mafia didn't. The Bills Mafia, some of them I'm sure aren't happy with it.
Jumping off a table going, do you need to come out? Jump on this table.
Yeah, they formed a circle and some guy just jumped through a burning table for equity in our society. There are 10 teams that have not posted anything yet. Last night I noticed the Chicago Bears, who I follow on Facebook, posted about Pride Month. And I went down into the comments because I knew the comments were going to be grab some popcorn. And they were. You had folks in the comments who were talking about, oh my God, here we go. Nobody cares. And then you had the comments of people coming back and saying, well, tell me, this is June. We're going to find out who the bigots are. And so the back and forth it goes. So anyway, good luck out there, everybody. It's Pride Month. I hope nobody on either side of the issue gets hurt as this is all going down. And Ronnie, I used to hope that nobody would get hurt when they would have a blue light special at Kmart. Do you remember these? I don't know how many Kmarts we're down to. Are there any Kmarts left?
I think there might be one in Florida.
I think there's one or two. They're like Blockbuster Video, but I tweeted when that blue light went off, Kmart pretty much transformed into the opening scene of Saving Private Ryan. May God have mercy on your soul. And it's like the old joke, Triumph the Insult Comic Dog, Robert Smigel, the great comic. He told the joke, Ron, I don't know if you've ever heard it. Why was Michael Jackson seen shopping at Kmart?
Don't know.
He heard that boys' pants were half off. And with that, Ron, let me ask you a question. And that question happens to be, what the fuck, Ron?
So if you were driving down the freeway and you saw any animal out running on the side of the road, it would definitely register with you, right? But there's certain animals that you would just do a double take and what the hell did I just see? Well, this weekend, the weird thing about it is it was somebody's pet. A pet zebra got loose and shut down I-24 about 35 miles south of Nashville in Murfreesboro. A zebra. Look at that.
What is going on? So you can have pet zebras? That's legal? There's a license for that?
Yep. It is legal to have a zebra as a pet in the state of Tennessee.
Look at him go. He's running like Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gone. Fuck it.
But just visually, it's one of those things that would just
run
be
to freedom,
to
you sweet bastard.
Yeah. So he goes
was he safely returned home, right?
As of the start of the show, he still is on the loose. So
God, this is great. Run free, you sweet bastard.
Now, I'm a big fan of... We got a
zebra on the loose in Tennessee. I am more psyched about this than I have any right to be, Ron.
I'm a big fan of opportunity marketing. And right before the show, I saw this on Facebook. This company, Master Fence in Murfreesboro, put a post out that said, Hey, did you know that no zebras or exotic animals have ever been able to get out of one of our fences? If you want a zebra-proof fence in Murfreesboro,
See?
you know who to call. Master Fence.
There's
Fantastic.
somebody that understands viral marketing right there.
So good.
And I'm glad that we have included it on this program.
Absolutely.
Because they deserve that.
Absolutely.
They deserve that. It's hard out there in the world for entrepreneurs. So, by God, good on you for getting creative, folks.
Yep.
I like it.
I'd never do this on purpose, but it seems like my WTFs always have like a theme, like birds or something like that. Well, today's theme is running. So we had a zebra running, and now I bet you did not have this on your Rod Stewart bingo card of what's next for Rod in life. Do you know how old he is? He's 80. Well, he has decided that he wants to set the record for the 100 meters for people who are 80. And so he's been training. He is at about 19 seconds right now. I don't think he's going to break the record because the record is held by an American named Kenton Brown, and this guy did it in 14.21 seconds. So I don't see Rod shaving 5 seconds off of this.
You can't shave 5 seconds off, can you?
I don't think so.
That's like, isn't that like roughly like the difference between like how fast we run and Usain Bolt or something? That's a huge difference.
Yeah, it is. But
he's really serious about trying to set a record.
Yeah, like he has a trainer. He has a trainer, and he has a trainer. Now listen, he's probably not going to do it, but at the age of 80, I got to give you credit for having this kind of goal. Like, keeps you in shape.
Look, here's what I would say. Look, I don't think it's likely that he can do it, Ron, but if he trains his body and he runs real fast, come on now, he might be able to go. I don't know, Ron. If he really needs it, I don't know. It's transition time, yes. Not the kind of transitioning that ends up with a gold medal around your neck either, I should say. I just tweeted over the weekend, strangely enough, Ron, my 10 favorite Rod Stewart songs. That's my 10 right there. Do you like any of those? And are there any songs that you would add as a Rod Stewart song that you enjoy?
Oh gosh, Ricky, there's not a chance in the world I could come up with any other Rod Stewart songs. But yeah, I like some of those. Hot Legs, Maggie May.
Pretty great. You know, I mean, the guy.
I just saw him. You know, he was.
I never seek him out, but whenever he comes on the radio, I tend to ride with him.
I was flipping through TV this weekend, and the American, maybe it was before this weekend, a couple days before the weekend, American Music Awards were on TV, and he actually came out on the stage and sang. And he's an interesting looking fella at this point.
Did you just
I had a little
belch
hiccup?
During the middle of that?
Hiccup.
Just
we had a little hiccup, belch,
that?
like something was there. Something was there.
Do you need to fart before we're off
no,
the air?
But hey, what do I always say? What do I always say? We're people, Ricky. We're people.
We're people. If you like what you saw on today's show, head over to outkick.com/newsletters and sign up for Ricky Cobb's Rewind. We're going to have great stuff coming to you every 2 weeks via email. It's absolutely free, and you can stay on top of everything that we're doing on the program.